Hello, Elly here from Thankful Flow Yoga. Thank you for joining me for day 29 of 30 days of yoga. Can you believe it? So thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate every single one of you who flows with me, who likes, shares, comments, subscribes to this channel. Thank you so much. And I really hope that you are benefiting and enjoying these flows. So today we're doing a Twisty Vinyasa Flow. I definitely recommend having blocks for this practice, so do grab those. If you don't have them, you could use a thick book or some sort of alternative around the house. So we're going to start by grounding into the class. So just come into your standing position, let the arms drop down by the side of the body and close your eyes or take your gaze out in front. And taking a moment here to think about one of the yamas, which are the external behaviors that we look at in yoga. It's part of yoga philosophy. Any of you who did mindful mornings will know what I'm talking about here. But either way, Satya is one of the yamas, and this is all about connecting to your truth. So that's your inner truth. So being honest and clear with yourself about your intentions. And this all contributes to speaking your truth, being in your truth. It has to come from inside first in order for that to extend outside, and to be honest with others, you have to be honest with yourself. So seeing if you can really be in your truth today in this practice. So that might mean taking modifications, that might mean resting. Whatever that is for you, just connecting to that sense of, what do I need today? What is my truth in this present moment right now? So noticing how your breath feels as you inhale through the nose. Noticing where the breath travels to within your body. And we'll start to open the eyes back up if you had them closed. And start to hug this right knee in towards the chest. If you need to use a wall to support you, then you absolutely can. And keeping the left hand on the right knee, inhale, sweep the right arm up and over into a twist. Sending the gaze to the back of the room. If this is too much with the knee, just drop that knee and take the twist from standing. Inhale, sweep it up and over back to center. And then releasing this right leg, just seeing if you can float your right leg back to take a little warrior 3. Just remembering we're early on in the practice, so this could be just a little float back with the right leg. It doesn't have to be full warrior 3. And then bring the right leg back into center. Well done. It's getting straight into it today. This time we hug the left knee in towards the chest. Keep the right hand on the left knee. Inhale, sweep the left fingertips up and over, finding a twist. Send your gaze over the left fingertips or in that direction, so towards the back of the room. Breathing here. Breathing into any wobbles or shakes, falling in and out. As much as you need to, be in your truth, coming back to Satya. And see if with control you can draw that left hand back up and over. And then maybe floating the left leg back this time. Maybe finding a little warrior 3 here, but no worries. If your body's just going, nope, I'm not quite ready for that yet, that's okay, listening to that. Well done. Bring the left foot back into center. Take a little shake out through the feet. Bring the hands to the hips, draw the belly in. Inhale. As you exhale, fold forwards, come into a standing forward fold. Option to take the peace fingers around the toes here and bring the elbows out to the side as you let the head drop down. Keep as much bend as you need to through the legs. So feeling that opening into the backs of the legs, the lower back. And taking any movement that feels good. Really release the head and the neck. Keep allowing the head to hang heavy. Notice how much we often want to hold on to tense the head and the neck. It's only when you give permission and send that intentional message to the head to just let go here. I'm just curious to observe. We're not judging anything or labeling anything as good or bad. Well done. Releasing from the fold, bring the hands to the hips, draw the belly in, lift the chest, come up to standing. Moving into our Surya Namaskar A. Inhale, reach the fingertips up, lift your ribs away from your hips. Exhale, hinge from the hips, Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, lift the chest, lengthen the spine, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, hands come down to the mat, step it back to plank, pausing here, connect to your inner line of energy. Breathing. Start to move through your version of Chaturanga. So on your inhale, coming through into an upward facing dog or taking a cobra. So take what's in your practice and what feels right for you today. Exhale, hips come to the sky for downward facing dog. Hips are lifting, press the mat away with your hands, always prioritizing the spine here over straightening the legs. So find that length through the spine first, and then you can start to draw your heels down to the mat, but it doesn't matter if the legs are still bent. We're all in different bodies that do different things. Inhale, send your gaze between the hands, walk the feet in, lift the chest, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, sweep the fingertips up, grow the spine tall, so we're lifting the heart away from the tailbone. Exhale, hands come through to heart center, Anjali Mudra. So one more Sun A here. Inhale, going fluidly with one breath, one movement. Lifting. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift the chest, lengthen the spine, halfway lift. Exhale, hands come down to the mat, step or jump the feet back to plank. Flow through your Chaturanga. So inhale, come into your upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, float back to your downward facing dog. Take a breath here. Inhale, send the gaze between the hands, step or jump the feet in. Lift the chest, lengthen the spine, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, sweep the fingertips up, grow the spine tall. Exhale, hands come through to heart center. From here, we're going to inhale, sit the hips back, find an Udkatasana. So belly's coming away from the thighs, strong inner line of energy, thighs squeezing in together. See if you can sit the hips a little bit lower, Ardha Udkatasana. Breathing here. Come back to your normal Udkatasana, so lifting a little bit higher now. Hands come to heart center, twist to the right. hook the left elbow onto that right thigh. And then from here, you're going to see if you can step the left foot back so that we're now in a twisted lunge. If that doesn't work for you, just come into your lunge and meet us here with the twist. And if this is too much, having the elbow on the thigh, you can always stay higher up and be in your twist here, okay? There's always options. Now we're going to option to open out the arms here if that's in your practice, sending the gaze up to the ceiling. And then from here, either bringing your left hand to a block or to the mat on the outside of this right foot. Step your left foot in, lengthen both legs. So my left toes are pointing out at a slight angle and the right fingertips are reaching up. So we're in our revolved Trikonasana. So getting very, very twisty. Well done. And releasing, bringing the hands forwards and then lifting, so hands will come down to the mat, or you could have both hands on blocks, lifting this left leg, finding a half split. So you could be either working here or opening into the hips and finding the half split version here. So make it what you need it to be today. And releasing, well done. Big step back. Open out into a wide leg position on your mat. Inhale, reach the crown of the head to the ceiling. Exhale, folding forwards, keeping the spine long. You can either stay at that halfway point or you can bring the hands down to the mat, depending on what feels right for you. Option to walk the hands in line with the heels of the feet, or you can keep walking them further back if that's in your practice. Shifting a little bit of weight into the balls of the feet. And then bringing the hands back to the hips. Inhale, lift the chest. Taking deep breaths as you come back up. And then we'll float the hands around to frame the front foot, step it back to plank, and flow through your chaturanga. So inhaling, upward facing dog or cobra. And exhaling back to downward facing dog. Hips are lifting, hands are pressing the mat away. Inhale, send your gaze between the hands, step or jump the feet in. Lift the chest and lengthen the spine, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reach the fingertips up to the sky, grow the spine tall. Exhale, hands come through to heart center. Your block with you coming onto the other side. So we inhale, sit the hips back, find Utkatasana. Remember, you can take a child's pose at any time. Sit the hips a little bit lower, Ardha Utkatasana. Lift the hips back up again to your normal Utkatasana. Hands come to heart center. This time we're twisting to the left, seeing if you can hook your right elbow on the left thigh. Maybe from here you get back and find that twisted lunge. No worries if you're falling or you need to come into it a different way, then take what you need. Remember, you could always work higher up in the twist and be higher up in your lunge. Option to open out the arms here, send the gaze up to the ceiling. Breathing into that space. Really pressing through the back heel. Well done. Then either keeping your right hand on the mat to the outside of the left foot, or take it to a block, step in that back leg. Now both legs are lengthened and we're in our revolved Trikonasana. Stay with your breath and stay in your truth, your Satya. So if your truth is taking a child's pose right now, then being in that. Being honest with yourself and what your body needs. Maybe it needs this revolved Trikonasana, but equally maybe it doesn't, and that's okay. Well done. So untwisting, both hands now come down to the mat or blocks. Lift your right leg away, find your standing split. Option to walk the hands in towards the left foot, maybe the left arm wraps around the left leg. That's just an option. Well done. And releasing, so take a big step back and we'll open out into a wide leg position. So back to Prasarita Padottanasana. Hands on the hips. Inhale, reach the crown of the head to the ceiling. Exhale, fold forwards. Either staying higher up or option to bring the peace fingers to the toes. And let the elbows come out to the side as you fold forwards here. Well done. Hands come back to the hips. Take a deep inhale. Draw the belly in as you lift the chest, coming back up to center. Well done. Step your feet in so that they're slightly further than hip width apart. Toes pointing out, hands at heart center. Inhale here. Exhale, bend through the knees, sit the hips down, find your malasana, your yogic squat. So you could have your block underneath your hips here, you can make it into a seated malasana and bring the hips completely down. So again, taking what feels right for you. Reach the crown of the head to the ceiling, draw the belly in. And bring the hips down to the mat if you haven't already. And we'll bring the legs out in front. Bend in that right leg. So keep the left leg lightly switched on, left foot's flexed. Right hand comes out behind. Ready for our Marichasana C. Inhale, reach the left fingertips up, make space. Exhale, we twist to the right. Left arm comes to hug the right knee, or you could take the hook, sending your gaze over the right shoulder or in that direction, and trying to keep some light engagement through the left leg. Well done. And unraveling, releasing the right leg and coming onto the other side. So bend your left leg in this time. Left hand comes out behind, flex the right foot, keep some light activation through the right leg. Inhale, reach the right fingertips up, lifting up and out from the waist. Exhale, we twist to the left. Sending your gaze over the left shoulder and then finding your breath. So as you inhale, you want to make space, reach the crown of the head to the ceiling. And as you exhale, sinking into that space you've created. Scanning into the back of the body here, the upper back, the neck, the shoulders, noticing any kinks, any resistance, any areas that feel good, just as the observer, seeing what you can observe, what you can notice. Well done, and release, come back to center. And we'll meet in a comfortable seated position on the mat. Closing down the eyes now, or taking a steady gaze out in front, and bring one hand to the heart, one hand to the belly. And just let your shoulders soften and run down your back. And start to notice if you can feel your belly moving as you breathe. Noticing any space you've created within the body today in your practice, or within the mind. And coming back to that intention of being in our truth, Satya. And what that means for you today. We'll take a releasing breath to close off the practice. So I'll count for 3 as we inhale through the nose, and exhale, you can release the breath out through the mouth. So inhale for 1, 2, 3, exhale, release. And just releasing the hands and opening the eyes back up when you're ready. Thank you so much for joining me for that twisty practice. I know there was some challenging parts in that, but I really hope that you enjoyed it, and I can't wait to see you again very soon. I hope if you've been on this 30 days of yoga journey with me, I really hope that you have been finding it beneficial. I would love to hear from you on how you've been getting on with that. But if this is just a flow that you've kind of picked up and come on here and done, then there's lots of other flows on this channel. We've got Mindful Mornings series, we've got the rest of this 30 days of yoga series, and then lots of all level flows, power flows. So do check that out, take a look at that, and yeah, link below to the other things that I offer. And thank you so much for being here. Take care. Bye bye.